Good evening, Speed Gaming, and welcome to another Link to the Past Randomizer League Playoff Edition. Today we have Shot Tools Game represented by Hitaka versus the Pendron Drifters represented by Megawatt. My name is Tracy, and with me today is Clear Mouse. How are you doing, Clear Mouse?
Tracy, I'm doing wonderfully tonight. I'm very excited to see it's going to be a really exciting match here. We've got, as you said, Shaq Tools versus Pendron Drifters. These are some of the best random players we've got here for Link to the Past. You see that they're both split 1-1, and it's going to be an exciting race.
That's right. On Friday, Aussie having given Frostbite a loss, the very first loss of the entire season by Pendron Drifters. Megawatt going to want to avenge that. Hitaka going to want to keep that going for his team. Should be a good one. We are just open today, so no funny settings.
Just
plain old ordinary open.
This is like a throwback to the original randomizer. This is what started it all. All of the craze, all of the cross keys, all of the mystery, all of the Randomizer. I mean, this is the original. Should be good.
Yeah, and we do get them both starting at Sanctuary and both picking up the key. So there you go.
Hitaka. Oh, doing some early farming here is rewarded very early. So this will be pretty useful when he heads over to Kakariko. Looks like at least Megawatt here is not going to actually do a lumberjack check. They're just going to give us a quick map check. A quad regular versus an Eastern hero. Maybe a permanent desert.
Oh, nice tree pull with all those rupees.
Yeah, we're definitely not short of resources today in the seed. Megawatt also getting the same tree pull, so they should have enough money here for Bottle Vendor.
All right, we are going to get that quick lumberjack check.
Yeah, meanwhile, on Megawatt's side, just sitting there in the mushroom spot in the Lost Woods, we have our first glove. So actually, with that key, that should that could potentially be some backup escape playing into Hyrule Castle.
Yeah, interesting. Megawatt already saving and quitting out of the well there, or sorry, out of the thieves' hideout. Picks up 300 rupees at Link's house, so that's nice.
Yeah, we've got no shortage here. Yeah, maybe he just wants to kind of check his, hedge his bets, make sure that he doesn't leave anything recorded here in Link's house. But it does look like he is going to head to Kakariko from the south. Not having any bombs, this is a very viable play. There are two 50-50 bush here that can actually yield a bomb. Megawatt's already got one. He says good enough because with that 300 pickup, he's got more than enough money to cover himself with bombs here. All right, just a heart container here on Race Game. Questionable whether or not Megawatt's going to pick that up. My guess is probably not. Given just the caliber, at the level we're playing here today, that heart container is probably not going to be worth the time.
Okay, finally about to see Hitaka get into Kakariko proper and using that glove, getting even more bombs.
Yeah.
Getting the 50-50 bomb under the rock, good knowledge there, and getting another drop. So he's not going to have to buy bombs unless he comes out. If he doesn't get any bombs from chests, he probably buys bombs on his way out of Kakariko, but won't need to get any for the actual checks here, which is always nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so definitely when you come into Kakariko, you want 3 bombs to be able to work with. Therefore, there is going to be absolute guarantee you're going to be able to get everything.
We get a bottle, so get to check Sick Kid. That'll be nice.
Yeah, definitely one of those convenience items that once you're here in Kakariko, you want a bottle, and ideally you also want a flute so you can activate it immediately, but definitely a bottle is one of those fetch quests that you'd rather take care of sooner rather than later.
No ice rod hunt today. Darn.
No elusive ice rod hunt today.
Of course, you know what that means. You get ice rod that early.
Oh, well, of course. Turtle Rock's going to be appended, for sure.
Of course.
Did we just buy another glove?
We just bought another glove.
Oh, wow. All right. So we've got Darkworld Access, 3.5 minutes in on Megawatt's side. Still looking for that pearl.
Yeah, you could go there and just kind of stare at the stones and and not go anywhere.
You think Megawatt's a sightseer? Just kind of sitting back, on the mountain, checking out the sunset in the Dark World.
And that half magic actually is kind of nice because right now their only weapon is an ice rod. So being able to actually use it with half magic is going to be helpful. There, Hitaka getting his mitts.
Yeah, it looks like they're just kind of trading spaces. Hitaka's going to pick up his ice rod quickly, shortly hereafter, and then, you know, as he said, so he does 3 bombs. Probably going to buy some bombs on his way out. Yeah, it's always kind of nice, especially especially.
I don't know if he needs to. The biggest thing you need bombs for at this point, more than the 3 he has, would be the mini Moldorm cave. With that ice rod, he can just go ahead and not worry about that. So we'll see if he chooses to buy bombs. It's not a bad idea, but he's not in desperate need of them.
Oh yeah, especially since, you know, he's got 6 kits left to check, and he's going to check the back of the tavern here, you know, before he makes any decisions about bombs. All right, Megawatt, saving quitting out of Blind's basement, not even bothering to pick up the rest of the rupees. Look like backup escape is his first destination.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
Yeah, yeah, with those bombs, and we already picked up the key, so we know that. Well, we're certainly hoping there's going to be items here in the front, so he doesn't have to, you know, hunt as much in the back.
Oh, there's some more bombs. A cane of Samaria and 50 rupees.
Oh yeah, that's you know, certainly King of Samaria is going to be very useful late game, but early game it does provide us with a semi-permanent weapon, especially given that half magic.
Yep, and it's always funny, like the heart container there on the race game, that's one of those items that maybe you pick up if you actually blind check the race game, but you're not going to go back for it if you're checking it like that, so.
Oh yeah, especially when they don't have boots either to make their trip just a little bit faster. I mean, especially, you know, when you're Hitaka facing off against Megawatt, or, you know, your Megawatt facing against Hitaka, you are going to try and cut, you know, probably as many quarters as you could afford to.
Okay, Hitaka going to get his goodies in the back of escape, and Megawott going straight to the mini Moldorm cave. Decides not to do the dam. Probably wants to route the dam with Gina. That's a play that you see runners occasionally do.
Oh yeah, and especially since they have that book, right? You know, hopefully they're going to try and make their trip over to desert kind of a one-stop. You know, multiple trips over. So what do we want to find? You know, we want to find a nice fire source. We'd like, ideally, some sort of weapon, hammer, sword, bow, to be able to kill Landmo when we can get over there. And of course, we would like those nice, fast, shiny boots in order to dash us there just quite a bit faster.
Yeah, at this point, a fire rod and boots to be able to clear Desert Palace would be a really nice thing for the runners. Megawatt decides not to go to Ice Palace, so is instead taking a detour back over to the dam, and I'm guessing, we'll head over to the desert area after this.
Yeah, so we're going to get some sinking here on our runner side. Megawatt just slightly ahead of Hitaka. I think the race, we can call this race right now, Tracy.
Yeah, oh sure.
Yeah, and of course
whoever floods the dam first, you know.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, you mentioned that Megawatt chooses. Oh wow, okay. So we've got dueling canes on our side. This is also another semi-permanent weapon. It is a viable weapon actually you can use to kill Landmo, assuming you can get back there.
Yeah, it's kind of a terrible weapon for Landmo since it's a big magic hog.
Oh yeah, not only is it magic hogging, it also generates a lot of lag too. So your magic's gonna drain a little bit, probably faster than you might expect it to be.
So Hitaka also going to use that cane of Samaria to deal with the mini Moldorms.
All right, what does our friend Akina have over for us today?
Piece of heart. Rupees. More rupees. We saw this already. I guess we already saw this. There's a whole lot of rupees and some hearts.
Yeah, and did Hitaka even? So both of these runners actually have more than enough Zora money to go in order to take it. Hopefully buy something good for 500 rupees. Yeah,
Zora's in logic, but I can't see either one going there unless they can also do the waterfall fairy, and without a moon pearl to sequence break it, or boots, or flippers to just get it the way you're supposed to. I can't see either one of them going there anytime in the near future.
Yeah, and given that we already have so many kind of open places that are within logic, such as what Megawatt is doing here already, doing some out of logic check for your flippers, it might be a harder sell for these runners. Hitaka actually is doing some really nice safety strats with Kano Samara, making sure that he does not take for those really dangerous crabs that do 2 hearts of damage apiece.
Yeah, crabs are scary early on. And just a boomerang my ice rod cave. something that if Megawatt never goes back to get, he'll probably be fine without. Red Boomerang is kind of nice, but definitely not something that's required in any way. And so far, we've got a piece of heart in Desert.
Yeah, we got our 2 gloves pretty early on, and then there's probably not much more action going on. Gibbs got a bunch of money.
Wow.
Yeah, got some heart pieces, and that's it. Yeah,
not much of a Desert. You get that early book, and it's going to be something in Desert, and then not so much.
Yeah. It's always the case, right? Where you go to Desert early with that book, and there's nothing, and then you get the book, but you don't go to Desert early, and there's always
of course
there. All right, Megawatt checking his most likely to be his next in logic item dislocation. He's gonna check out our family friend, the uncle, along with the side chest, and probably make his way also to the castle. Of course, we do have bombs, we've got the Keen of Samaria, we've got Keen of Burna, we've got lots of action items in order to take out guards down to the castle.
Yeah, and that half magic will make it pretty easy.
Now, of course, we don't have the lamp yet, so Dark Cross isn't in logic quite yet, but we're always hoping that the map is going to be in Dark Cross, so we don't have to ever go back there again.
Yeah, we know it's not going to be the key, because we already got the key. But yeah, hopefully for the runners, it's the map. They don't have to go there.
Yeah, Hitaka eyeing that set of bombs here on Desert Ledge. Of course, when we saw the Megawatt side, that he is definitely not going to bother. Even if when Hitaka has 4 bombs to his name, something tells me he's not going to take that extra time and effort to walk all the way down.
No, not for bombs.
Megawatt showing us that. Oh wow! All right,
nice.
That's right. First item, of course, in Hyrule Castle, as you said, Tracy, is the bow with the 10 arrow pickup from Desert. We have a full arsenal of arrows to our quiver. And we also saw that Megawatt showing off a little bit of game knowledge that the Ice Rod actually does kill off all the blue bars versus freezing them.
Yeah, it's kind of weird the way the Ice Rod works here. The fact that this green guard right here is why the Ice Rod can't be a starter weapon for standard. Because the Ice Rod will not kill it.
You could try really hard to throw a frozen guard against the wall or something. It doesn't break, sadly.
On the other hand, there is we'll see if Megawatt does it. You can freeze the green guard down here and use it to kill the ball and chain guard.
Yeah, in case you don't want to take the time to kind of pick up any plots.
Yeah, and one thing I don't know if we pointed this out earlier. We do know that because even though we didn't actually check the torch, we know the big key's sitting there because it's the only place left it can be. Oh, good, no map.
Oh yeah. We saw Megawatt was actually setting up the Death Warp just in case that the last item was in Dark Cross. He was very well rewarded that he didn't have to Death Warp, and we found everything. In Hyrule Castle, I think the only thing that was really useful was that bow. And of course, with Eastern being a crystal, that is where Megawatt is headed towards next.
Yeah, I think you full clear Eastern at this point. It's not fully in logic because no fire source, but you just do it anyway. These guys are good enough for dark rooms. Although I will say this, these are not the easiest dark rooms in the world when we don't have any kind of weapon. The one to the back in particular is pretty difficult. The other one is pretty easy, even without a weapon. The one to get to the big key chest, which, maybe if we get a nice enough Eastern, maybe all the items come before we even get there, so that'd be nice. So the one nice thing about that boomerang that Hitaka has that Megawatt does not have, although with all the weapons, it's not a huge difference. But one option Hitaka has is to stun the enemies, and then he can use whatever weapon he wants at that point. And it's pretty easy.
Yeah, and I just saw him, stunning the guard right in front of him. Isn't it nice, Tracy, when you mentioned something and then one of the runners was exactly gives you an immediate demonstration?
Oh, absolutely. There's that bow for Hitaka. First check at Eastern was just the map.
Yeah, no boots, no hook shot, nothing fancy here today to kind of get us through Eastern a little bit faster. We're just going to do this the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, interesting that Megawatt did not check Saha before doing this. I kind of dislike that, mainly because you're going to do it before or after. You're not going to skip that check. But it could be your lamp just to make your life easier, or a fire rod, again, to make your life easier.
Yeah, I'm wondering if, he was thinking, well, maybe, that, maybe I'll find something better in Eastern that will, maybe help me go for Saha. But yeah, we can certainly ask him about that, for his running choices.
There are enough. In general, there's just enough things that would make Eastern better. Even a sword, boots, whatever. That I am surprised that he didn't do that first.
Yeah. So speaking of nice things, we did find the Moon Pearl in Eastern Palace. That is going to be.
And there it is. There it is. Hitaka using the guard. Ether. Might be necessary.
Yeah, maybe, of course.
The big TBD.
Can't do anything, of course, without that sword. Actually, one thing you mentioned, Tracy, one strat that some runners like to do in this room is if they have a sword and a bunch of magic, they can just use ether and then freeze everything. That makes things, not only easier to kind of see, but also hit this Igor.
Yep. Can't do that if you don't have a sword. We'll see if Hitaka checks Saha's closet first, and it looks like Megawatt skipped the big key chest. So interesting choice there. I believe it's a 50-50 whether it's an item or not.
That you are spot on, Tracy. So Megawatt certainly hope he's going to come out on the better half of the 50-50. That it's just going to be a compass there in the dark room out of logic.
Okay. Oh, we're going to find out where the green pendant is in Misery Mire. So we hope we don't ever have to go there. See, and there it is. There is a sword.
So Hitaka's going to probably have a little bit more of a safer option here in order to clear out the back of Eastern Palace.
Yeah, in particular, if there's something in that big key chest, he'll probably be able to get it a lot easier with that sword to see by. If it's not an item, then he's going to lose time for having checked it, and it looks like it isn't because we got the 20 rupees on the Armos Knights there.
Yeah, you're often not happy to see 20 rupees, but when it's your dungeon prize and you took the gamble that this was going to be the item, you are very much happy to get to be only $20.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, really nicely done though on Megawatt's side. Very clean Armos fight. Unfortunately had a little bit of early arrow firing on the red Igors in the room before, but he has claimed our first crystal at around 17 minutes.
Yeah, also going to check that green pendant location. Going to get his sword here. And with that Moon Pearl, it does have Dark World access, so I suspect that probably the Village of Outcasts next stop.
Yeah, with those Titan's Fist and the Moon Pearl, and really not much else in terms of accessibility.
Yeah, logically, there's not. Is there anything else? I mean, well, okay, Zora's still in logic, and now you could actually sequence break the waterfall ferry, but they're not going there.
The
mountain's not. Yeah, the mountain's not in logic yet. You could go there. That sword makes it pretty easy, but you're only getting 3 checks, one of which you can't even get, another which is not even in logic, or wouldn't even be in logic, even if you had the flute. So none of them are in logic. So flute would put one, Blamp would put both.
Yeah, so at least from both Hitaka and Megawatt's perspective, we do have Zora, as you said in logic. From Megawatt's perspective, we still have that lingering Ice Rod Cave that he never ended up visiting. So I'm not sure if that's going to weigh on his mind or anything, but it is certainly going to be an open check for him.
Yeah, you might not see him go there unless he, gets gated by something. And of course, if he gets a flute, it makes it a lot more nicer play. Oh, Hitaka also going to skip the big key chest, so that's going to work out well for him.
All right, despite not having that sword and ether, looks like he's going to do something very similar to what Megawatt did, is just kind of feel and just shoot his way through the dark. Sounds actually from all the audio sounds, looks like he got through very cleanly.
Oh, Pendant Thieves Town. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Well, in this case, it's almost a good news bad. It's kind of a good news bad news. At least with Pendant Thieves Town, I don't think you feel quite as bad about not finishing it, and that so, you know, if it's Crystal Thieves Town, it's like, do I finish it? What if there's an item in the big chest? No, it's Pendant. You can't get to the big chest. That's a really good reason not to go finish it right now.
Yeah, it makes you feel even a little bit better about dipping into Thieves Town, you know, without that hammer. Alright, so we did find, looks like we got first 2 checks in Thieves Town, 10 arrows to replenish some of the arrows lost on Armos Knights on Megawatt's side, and we did find a compass. Megawatt's certainly hoping for one more item here in the front. We know we're going to find a big key as one of our 2 remaining items.
And a lamp. There's our fire source. Which gets us those mountain checks. It puts the two mountain checks in logic, and the third one you still can just look at longingly. And puts the Armos Knights in logic.
Yep. Yeah, so it definitely sounds like, you know, in order, we needed to kind of double dip Eastern, logically, of course, first time to get the Moon Pearl, and then, you know, so we come over here to the Dark World, and then go back eventually to finish up Eastern Palace. Logic is merely a suggestion for these runners, especially facing up against each other. You are definitely not going to want to double dip Eastern Palace if you don't have to.
Yeah, I'm actually not a big fan of the term logic is a suggestion. It's not that they're not willing to break it, because of course they're going to break it, but you want to keep it in mind. It can help you figure out certain things. In this case, basically the logic is just all put back together with that lamp. But, you know, certain things like, my personal favorite is if you get a flute or a lamp on the mountain, it gives you a really good idea where the other one is or where it can't be. And those are the kind of things that you want to keep in mind when you're playing this.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, good point. You know, especially, you know, since we did see the prize on Eastern Palace was, of course, just 20 rupees. But if it were something, you know, more progressive, right? You know, for example, if it were the fire rod, right? We know that in this case, then the lamp has to be out there somewhere.
Yep. And Hitaka doing a bit of a different play here. Going to go ahead and check out Skull Woods.
Yeah,
gets a small key. I personally like getting a small key there, because then you can just easily go to the right or go to the left, which he's not even doing. Maybe he's just gonna fall down the hole. Yeah, I don't like not a fan of the falling down the hole, because what I like to do is get to the pinball room and let the hand grab me if I don't have a mirror. But you know, he's got the key, so he can get out, so it's fine.
Yeah, of course, the hope is that you find more than just keys and dungeon items in the front. You kind of want to find something probably more useful to, you know, hope that, you know, to make your time investment a little bit more worthwhile.
Oh, there's a useful item.
Yeah, all right, paying off already. One of the 2 items found in Skull Woods is a really great mobility item, that flute. So that, of course, also doubly gets us back up to the mountain.
And there's a mirror for Megawatt.
Yeah.
Depending on where the fire rod is, though, I feel like Hitaka gets to that mirror a little bit before Megawatt gets the flute. And very nice. That is the second item in Skull Woods. So Hitaka is done with Skull Woods until he decides he's going to beat it with when he gets the fire rod later. So yeah, don't like that it's arrows, but at least you're done.
Yes. Yeah, and of course, you know, being Skull Woods, you know, kind of out of the way, you know, once you're kind of not already in this area, you know, basically just means that when he's ready in go mode to basically clear out the rest of his crystals, it's just going to be a one-stop. Yeah,
he's not going to come back to Skull Woods until he has a fire rod and there's some reason to finish it, because, yeah, done clearing it. Powder Okay, that's an interesting one.
We have not seen the anywhere yet. But that is quite the chain of fetch quests that we might have to potentially do. Of course, powder being itself a really nice safety, you know, for our runners.
Well, something that I would go out of my way to pick up, but these guys will only pick it up if they get the cape and it's still not in go mode.
All right, yeah, and you know, actually, having done Skull Woods, you know, earlier than Megawatt here, and then you know, Hitaka actually has a little bit more knowledge, maybe more confidence in making a decision for whether or not he wants to dip Pendant Thieves Town. You know, for example, maybe he found the hammer, that would also influence his decision for whether or not he wants to clear it out.
Yeah, I can't see him doing anything but the front that Megawatt already did. Now, the one thing he will be able to do once he saves and quits is he'll be able to check out the Misery Mire area, which is less interesting than it could be because it is a pendant, but it's still got stuff. He'll have the mirror. He be able to get to desert if we find those boots somewhere.
That is the lamest hype cave I think I've seen for quite some time. It was like bombs and just like some resources, man.
Yeah, not much of a hype cave. And Megawott will turn in the smith. And then maybe he'll head over to Skullwoods. We're starting to run out of places to go. There is the mountain, which they will eventually do.
Yeah, of course, with that mirror pickup, they're going to, at least be able to get a little bit further. Not only are they going to be able to see what's on top of Spectacle Rock, they are going to have the option of getting it. But of course, without that hammer or hookshot, we're not going to have much more access to the rest of the mountain.
No, they can at least do Hera.
That's right.
Not exactly a nice Hera on a fighter sword and no hookshot for Herapot, but it's still a location. It is still a dungeon they need to clear out, and wouldn't be surprised if we see that pretty soon.
Yeah, Logic doesn't really care about your convenience. If it's already placed somewhere, you're gonna have to go get it.
Okay, and there's the death war from Hitaka. He's gonna leave and follow up what Megawott didn't do Sick Kid earlier. Okay.
Yeah, I think I also must have missed that. Maybe.
Yeah, I think. Probably. Yeah. He went south to north through Kakariko, and so by the time he got the bottle, I guess he just didn't want to backtrack it.
Yeah. So of course, just in case he forgot, that second bottle we got from the Smiths was really a nice, kind reminder for him.
And this looks like Megawatt's going to go ahead and do the Skullwoods play, so he'll be happy with that because he'll go ahead and get that flute.
Oh yeah, actually, assuming Hitaka ends up doing the Smith chain in addition, he's going to be able to turn the Smith and activate the flute at the same time. Megawatt, on the other hand, after he gets his flute from Skullwoods, he's going to be like, I was just there in the village.
I mean, he has the mirror at least, so it's not so bad. We'll see if Hitaka even grabs the Smith. Of course, you don't want to grab the Smith before you do the dig game, because the dig game guy doesn't like it if you have a follower when you do that. Now, Megawott going to lose a little bit of time compared to Hitaka in Skullwoods, because he does decide to do the middle section first for that small key. And we know both items are in the front.
Alright, looks like we are going back to our companion.
We're going to grab the Smith, and he'll get a tour on Hitaka's side, too. Yeah, get a little closer there.
Yeah, I'm actually on Megawatt's side, small difference here compared to Hitaka. When he was here in Skullwoods, he's got that mirror, so he can actually route this dungeon just slightly faster. Be able to, kind of warp out at his convenience versus, death warping or walking out.
And there's that mirror for Hitaka.
Alright, both items found on Megawatt's side, so it's going to be another point of divergence. So, Megawatt most likely is also going to check the upper ledge. With that mirror, or never mind, maybe he won't.
He's not checking. It doesn't feel like checking the bumper ledge. Maybe check it later.
He looks like he's going to activate his flute that he just got.
Yeah, that seems pretty reasonable to me.
Yeah, but then where does he go after this?
I think Death Mountain. I think they both head up Death Mountain after, in Hitaka's case, after the Smith turn in and the flute activation. Oh, Hitaka's going to do Bombo's tablet. I don't think we saw this on Megawatt's side.
Yeah, I think you are. Oh no, Megawatt actually ended up checking this as well. I believe it was just 3 bombs. Apologies for the spoiler. If you
oh well.
on Megawatt's side.
Well, since they don't have a Master Sword, finding out his bombs is not a bad thing.
Oh yeah, especially actually just reading that tablet, right? Actually saves the Bombo's animation, which is the longest I think out of all 3 medallions.
It is.
Alright, as you predicted, Tracy, Megawatt is the first of our 2 runners of that mountain, rescuing the old man now fully in logic because we pick up that land here in Pennant Thieves Town.
Yeah, so far the seed being pretty stingy, throwing out a bunch of breadcrumbs for the runners to follow.
Yeah,
not a lot of room for route diversions here.
Yeah, I'm glad Megawatt and the old man was, skinny enough in order to fit through that dead rock. Oh, actually, all right. So looks like we just wanted that save and quick point as well as what the old man had was just a little bit more money added to our bank accounts. Megawatt is going to check out the Meyer area and maybe take another dip into the desert if we end up finding a fire source or those boots.
I have a fire source. We need boots. I don't know what, it's kind of, I guess Ice Beam Landmo is not too bad. Fighter Sword Landmo is horrible.
We do have
Did I say Ice Beam? Ice Rod.
Ice Rod. We've got that bow.
We got a bow. Bow is it? Yeah.
NMG strats.
Yeah, you can tell the NMG runners by the ones that'll use the bow in this situation for Landmo. Oh, this may be a purple chest play from Hitaka because he's going into the Dark World. So he'll mirror in front of the front of Thieves Town so he can activate the flute, and then he'll mirror in front to turn in the smith.
And pick out the purple chest, yeah. Oh, it's very nice, efficient routing. Megawatt back on the mountain, second time. Having just picked up probably the most useful item there in the Misery Mire is the bottle. Hope we're going to find something else more. Now, we still do have North Dark World stuff to look at. We've got Graveyard Ledge, we've got Catfish.
We have... we can't get to Catfish yet until we get Flippers. We can. we can't in logic get to Catfish yet.
We just spotted a hammer on Spectacle Rock. That is going to make their lives a lot nicer. Yeah.
That'll help. That'll make the Moldorm fight easier. It will also allow them to do East Death Mountain.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to end up seeing Hookshot today before we probably get a chance to do Hera. So no Hera pot today. We're going to see some nice original rooms, but just like the pre-Hera pot days.
Where the big key is, it's not a huge time difference. If the big key is in one of the first 2 chests, if you have to go to the basement to get the big key, then it's definitely a more of a time loss. However, at least in that case, you're not going to be leaving the big chest orphaned, and if there's an item there, you're not going to miss it. Yeah, flute to 7, please.
He just wanted to say hi to some of our new friends.
Or if you're Megawatt, you get the small key. You say, you know what? I don't want to do this without Herapot, and I'm just gonna leave it.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a Master Sword. That's nice.
Fighter Sword 2, Master Sword upgrade, one of the nicer sword upgrades that we're going to find. Of course, we always want that tougher sword at the end, but having a Master Sword in general is going to be nice. Not only just because we get more firepower, we actually get a larger sword reach as well.
And it might be a while before Megawatt gets to that Master Sword. It's not really required for anything really until the end of the game. Since we already saw the tablets, we already know there's nothing we need on there on those. You can get away with a fighter sword for the entire game until you try and fight Ganon.
something. I guess we want to damage him at some point, huh?
Yeah, damaging Ganon is kind of important. Okay, Hitaka doing his Mire area checks. And he'll save a little bit of time here, too, for doing this first and then going over to the mountain, assuming that's what he does next. Because he'll get that hammer right away. And he needs some little time saves, but that sword might make a difference, too, depending on if and when Megawatt gets to that purple chest. It's one of those locations that you really don't want to do if you can avoid it.
Yeah, but it is super early. We're barely half an hour in. There is lots of game to be played here.
Yeah, and we haven't had room for any divergence yet. There's some silver arrows.
Of course, we already did fight Armos and Eastern. One of the nicer fights for to be used for silver arrows. But we've got lots of other bosses.
Yeah, unfortunately, the boss that's the nicest with those silver arrows is Misery Mire, and hopefully we don't have to do that. It will be nice for Lanmo. That is the silver arrow fight is a pretty nice one. If you.
That's right. Yeah, we're talking about bow Lanmo. Silver Lanmo is just as good.
The silver Lanmo is good. Bow Lanmo is horrible.
Oh wow! Hitaka barely made it out of that death trap that we call the mountain. Luckily, the old man has some salvating healing for him.
Yeah, Dead Rock's not being kind. And he's warming up. He's just warming up the mirror.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Do you think maybe Hitaka wants to use that mirror soon? Just giving it some practice.
Okay, we're shortly going to see what's going on in Turtle Rock, which if it's the Ether, Megawott could enter it right now. May not be able to get very far. He can enter it right now. He's going to at least open it up.
Yeah, we don't have the Fire Rod. It certainly would not surprise me if he decides to just kind of go and see if he gets locked out quickly, right? Because that first check in Turtle Rock is within logic, and if it's not a key, we are done for the time being.
Yeah, I like this choice to at least do the first check. Even if it is a key, I don't know that I'd follow it. But if it's not a key, then you're just locked out right away. And maybe it's a good item. And Hitaka going to get the item here, the 20 rupees. And just a piece of heart. So now mirror out. And when you come back later with the Fire Rod, you have one less check you need to do.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's also, as you said, Tracy, this is actually good knowledge from Megawott because he knows that in order to keep going into the rock, he absolutely needs that Fire Rod. So he won't come back until he has it again.
Now let's see if Hitaka goes ahead and finish this dungeon or if he'll wait like Megawott did. Yeah, he's just going to do it. I think I like this decision from Hitaka. You don't know when that hook shot is going to show up. I'm a big proponent of do the crystal dungeons that you can do. And right now, this is the crystal dungeon that you can do. So doing it makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah. I'm certainly hoping. I'm hoping that Megawott, finds this. At least for Megawatt's sake, finds a hook shot because that's what he's probably looking for. In addition, he can also do hook shot king once he has it. But it looks like, unfortunately, with all those Death Mountain checks, he did not find what he was looking for. So
yeah, it looks like I think this is the Hera play now. He was hoping he get something better from Death Mountain and did not.
Yeah, of course, after Hera, Megawatt potentially still also could do Spike King with those gloves and hammer, Cane of Burna, and like 2 bottles worth of magic. He has enough resources in order to get to the end.
Oh yeah, the Cane of Burna will just by itself will do it, especially with half magic. And now Megawatt in his coffee break.
Meanwhile, Hitaka beating Megawatt to the climb of Tower of Hera. Slowly but surely, we are coming for Moldorm. But hopefully we'll end up finding a couple of what's in these chests before we see him.
And so far, yeah, nothing good there.
Alright, 1 of 2 is going to be 5 rupees to our name.
And the other item going to be on Moldorm.
Alright, so actually, yeah, it just looks like if we ended up deciding to come back with the hook shot and do Hera plot, no love lost here because we just found an item in the big chest itself.
Not going to be a huge advantage here with this Master Sword because probably both runners will end up using the hammer anyway. Certainly Megawatt will. Hitaka makes sure he's not to. Fighter Sword Moldorm is not fun.
Yeah, looks like Hitaka actually is going to opt for some Master Sword spins. This is certainly much more defensive and safer than just using the hammer. Probably not going to be much time loss either. Nicely done on Hitaka's side. He's going to be, the first question we're going to play my second. So, what's up?
Still 3 hits. So either way, whether you use Master Sword spins or the hammer. Now Hitaka will go ahead and we'll go to the east part of the mountain. And then the question is, where do you go next? Pendant Pod, I guess? I mean, we're kind of locked out of almost everything at this point. Not a whole lot.
Oh no, Megawatt! I got bullied by Moldor. This is our fault.
It happens to all of us.
But actually, with that hammer though, we do have a lot more things that are open.
We do. Well, let's see. What do we have? We have hammer pegs. We have, pod we can full clear. Yay, pendant pod.
There's never any conversion in pendant pod. But this
conversion never shows up in pendant pod. Megawatt has the option of the purple chest, which Hitaka already did. We know it's a sword, so that'd be good for him.
We do.
And Zora's still out there, which has been in Logic since we got that first glove very early.
Yeah, I'm wondering if on Megawatt's side he might consider combining Catholic with Zora, if he chooses to kind of go up there, in the Dark World.
If he to do that we have the hammer now, so we can do that. But it would still require splash deletion if you're going to combine them because we don't have the flippers.
We also too have access, I think, to that pyramid item. Sometimes that is an item that some runners don't often go for, especially if we've already done escape.
Yeah, pyramid's kind of a weird location that can be left for a long time, and it can hurt you, or it could just be nothing.
Oh wow, Megawatt getting the payout from Spike Cave. He can go fast. Picking up those boots at about 41 minutes in. Man, those are some really poorly placed boots. Taking advantage of those boots, of course, Megawatt. First stop he's going to do is going to be King's Tomb, having both the mids and boots.
Yeah, I think you go right away for these boost checks if you're Megawatt. And we'll see if Hitaka chooses to do Spike Cave. He's been, if anything, the more thorough runner of the two, so I have a hard time believing he's not going to check Spike Cave.
Yeah, especially given his routing, he can always, he is probably going to full clear all of Light and Dark Death Mountain with that mirror, and then after he's done, he just hop right over, back over and into Spike Cave.
Now the bad thing about that location, though, of course, is we now have access to the first item in Hookshot Cave. And that's a terrible place to get. I mean, you no one wants to leave Hookshot Cave. You always save and quit out of Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, Hookshot Cave, Spike Cave, right?
Yeah, that too. Spike Cave, of course, is what I meant.
Yeah. It looks like Megawatt is going to make his check over to Lumberjack that he did not end up doing. Hitaka ended up coming here before the boots. This is something that sometimes runners like to do this check after they get the boots, because you can't actually get the item off of Lumberjack until you have the boots to begin with.
Yeah, Hitaka will do. Looks like Hitaka maybe isn't going to do that first chest in Turtle Rock. Since it's nothing, not a big deal. Whether he does it now or whether he does it later, it'll be the same time sync.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even in a Go-Mo TR versus a non-Go-Mo TR, you are always going to check that first chest.
Yeah, I mean, Key Sandy is the only time Go-Mo TR actually makes a difference. This is not Key Sandy, so Go-Mo TR, not that useful. And yeah, Megawatt going to go ahead and do hammer pegs. I like this call. Let's see if he does. We'll see if he does the purple chest right afterwards.
Yeah, this is this is actually really nice. I have to imagine he does pick up the purple chest. He's got the mirror. He's got the flute. Right. The fact that he's already over here. Purple chest is very convenient for him to pick up.
Okay, Hitaka is going to go into the first chest of Turtle Rock.
Oh wow!
Oh well, there's another Master Sword.
Yeah, Megawatt is probably going to get back-to-back swords here very quickly. Be very handsomely rewarded.
Yeah, unfortunately for Hitaka, he may be less inclined to go those hammer pegs since he doesn't also have the purple chest there for him. Okay, Hitaka mirroring out of Turtle Rock that says that he is going to go to Spike Cave because otherwise you just save and quit.
Yeah, Hitaka, I'm sure, will be quite happy. He's has to have walked everywhere so far in the sea. Over through Spiral Cave. From Hera all the way to the rest side of the mountain, all the way back. So his reward for the boost is going to be quite nice.
I do think this is going to be the this is going to be the pod play.
The pendant pod play.
Yeah, because there's not much else we can do.
Pod certainly is our most item-dense location. We've got 6 great items. Hopefully one of them will be of use for us.
5 items.
5 items. Yes, 5 items. Sorry. That's
okay. And Hitaka does pick up his boots.
Oh, yes, 6 keys. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. 6 keys is crazy. 6 chest keys to be more specific.
All right, so of course this is going to be a small key. We know that it's not going to be bow locked, but it doesn't matter because we've not only got the bow, we've got silvers.
Okay, Hitaka going to do the boots checks up here. And of course, all these front checks, most of them are going to be small keys. Because 4 of the front 6 chests, 4 of them are guaranteed to be small keys. Hitaka fluting over to 3, so he looks like he is going to go ahead and do that hammer pigs play.
Oh, this will be really nice if that's the case, because that means that both of our runners are going to be here on Tempered Sword. Tempered Sword is the best sword upgrade we're going to be able to get. I mean, I'm sure
Tempered plus silvers, they're going to be set for Ganon. So
yeah, I'm sure they won't complain, if they get the butter sword, but they definitely don't need any more than this. I mean, not that they really needed that temper sword, but in terms of speed, that's it's definitely very welcome.
On the other hand, Hitaka is going over to Graveyard Ledge. Not doing hammer pegs.
So
he may miss that.
Yeah, well, there is another sword out there, but this, if this is going to be Hitaka's kind of like North Dark World loop back into South for Pod, this also could be a benefit if Megawott doesn't end up checking these.
See, if you get something good here.
That is 100. I don't know. I don't know if we know Myers are green pendant, so that is a mixed blessing.
If there's something in Misery Mire, advantage Hitaka. If there's not good at all.
All right, so meanwhile, we did actually find our 3rd medallion on Megawatt's side, which was Bombos. So, we do at least have, between the 2 runners, a full set of medallion collection.
Bombos could get us into Ice Palace. Of course, Ice Palace not in Logic yet because we don't have flippers. And Hitaka still not doing hammer pegs, also not going to do Misery Mire, is going to follow Megawatt into Pod.
Yeah, and just in case people are curious, both of these runners are very adept at fake flippering. We are going to need those flippers hard required today because Swamp Palace is one of our crystals, and there is no way you can finish the dungeon without flippers.
Yeah, Swamp Palace is kind of goofy. With the Ancilla Splash Deletion, you can actually jump into the water. You just can't get out. Looks like we're not finding a whole lot in Pod either so far. So maybe will be that Misery Mire ends up being the play. And never mind. There is a Fire Rod.
That is definitely a very strong piece of aggression. That lets us actually go further into Turtle Rock for better or for worse.
Yeah, Turtle Rock maybe is the next play. And Megawatt leaving with that Fire Rod, I don't blame him. I see no reason to beat Helma unless you absolutely got nothing. Hitaka also going to get that Fire Rod, but going to be still a bit behind here.
Well, we're a little bit behind in terms of getting to the Fire Rod, but Hitaka's also gotten some other, extra checks in. For example, he went to visit, Graveyard Ledge. The race is very, very close between both the runners.
Yeah, the problem with those is that Megawatt may never do those. So there's a chance that he gets that time back if Megawatt ends up getting to those locations. There's a chance that he doesn't. And of course, not doing hammer pegs. The one location that Megawatt's done that Hitaka hasn't, that Tempered Sword is going to make, because Hitaka will probably also go right up to Turtle Rock. It's 5 items plus the Mimic Cave, so really 6 items. And, you know, Megawatt's going to have that Tempered Sword. And, you know, Turtle Rock is one of those dungeons where Tempered Sword really helps.
That is the second time Megawott has managed to just kind of sneak through those dead rocks. Man, these guys are out for blood today.
Yeah, and chat pointing out that Turtle Rock is a red crystal, and we can beat Desert for the other red crystal, so that might be added incentive to do those dungeons. So, you know, that would be a reason to go do Desert now rather than put it off.
Oh yeah, that's actually very good points. We neither runner has checked the pyramid item itself, so if we can actually get the big bomb over, that'll actually be very convenient and efficient. We routed Megawatt, remembering that he does not have the hook shot, slightly in after he took the fair belt. Recovers quite nicely.
Yeah, Hitaka needs to hit the switch. There's a few different ways you can do this. Those beetles not being nice.
No, they're called bullies for a reason. All right, look at this.
There we go.
Yeah, it's the second item in Turtle Rock, which is 10 arrows. More arrows that Megawatt can't keep in his quiver. But most importantly, we got that Smoke King, which means we're gonna be able to progress further into this dungeon.
I'm going to save a little bit of time by doing the hammer jump here.
One of the few times you actually see a menu in these quick swap enabled days of Rando.
Now he's going to get his fire out a little bit sooner. We'll see if he leaves right afterward.
Alright, Megawatt pulling out the key to burn it just in the nick of time. Those chomps would have absolutely demolished him on 4 hearts. Really glad he did not have to death warp there.
Yeah, we're still on green mail after all.
Mm-hmm. Somewhat misleading, right? Because Megawatt's sprite is very blue. So it's like, oh, like he must have green mail. It's like, no.
Big key is vanilla, so you don't feel quite as bad not go-moding Turtle Rock in that situation. Okay, that'll be it for Hitaka. He's gonna leave.
Yeah, it looks like he just wanted to try and get as many items out of pod just like Megawatt did, because you're already here. You really don't want to have to come back here ever again because you've already cleared out Eastern as a crystal. Some nice quick swapping over there for to use the fire rod and sword spins to kill those 2 Pokies off.
Okay, Hitaka going over to Village Outcasts again, or maybe just gonna go ahead and do Skull Woods right now with that fire rod.
All right, looks like you called it. You know, this is he can do this basically at any time as in his discretion. So why not now?
Not going to make a huge difference whether he does this now or later. It would be nice to have that better sword, but he might not get to hammer pegs.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure that Hitaka is very well practiced doing hammer moth. He's got half magic, he's got fire rod. Probably he's not going to miss that temper sword for this particular fight.
And sword spins work fine with Master Sword.
Alright, looks like we've got a wardrobe change from Mimic Cave on Megawatt's side, picking up that blue mail.
And the single arrow in the big chest.
Yes.
So far, that blue mail is the only thing interesting that we've seen here.
And it's not even in Turtle Rock itself. It was outside in the cave.
Now, on the other hand, we haven't gone to Laser Bridge, and Laser Bridge is known for having stuff, so...
Alright, so maybe we're going to find flippers in Laser Bridge, find a hookshot. That would be the most ideal outcome, because we just can get a hookshot cave right here on the mountain. Hitaka doesn't want anything to stand in his way, using the fastest medallion either to kill off all of those Gyptos in one shot.
Yeah, Ether's really nice for that.
I definitely really like the spin here of the Gibdo into that spike, and taking advantage of the fact that it'll do spike damage, which is effectively butter smoke damage on those Gibdos.
Okay, Laser Bridge has a compass. Gonna have a small key in one of these. Rupees. Map.
Yeah, thank you.
And it's gonna be a small key as the last one, so Laser Bridge with nothing.
Alright, so we've got Trinus himself. We've got all of our dungeon items. Hopefully the boss will give us something good. Other than that 5/6 crystal. Well, Hitaka, alright. Definitely avoiding all of these spikes to take down Mothula.
That'll be his third crystal.
Meanwhile, Megawott has made his way through to try to we're going to get some backdoor stress with that Temper Sword. This is very common here. He's well versed in NMG. First head is down. Very nice. Second head also is down. It's going to be a very, very fast Trinex if Megawott can do it properly.
Head check from Hitaka. And just bombs. Sorry, chat. No ped today.
Yeah, good. Certainly very nice knowledge on Hitaka's side. That means that any pendant process he is not going to do.
Wow. Nothing in Turtle Rock. Oh.
Tracy.
Wow.
That is our pedestal. That's our pedestal item. Tracy and Megawott just picked up. How can you say that it's nothing?
It's nothing. The only thing the Turtle Rock got them is going to get Hitaka and has gotten Megawott was that blue mail. Unfortunately, Hitaka's going to do the same play and not going to get him anything. I mean, it's the play I'd make. It's, Turtle Rock being open this early, you do it.
Yeah, no, I mean, and of course, as you mentioned earlier, this is going to be a 5/6 crystal. Maybe, the next stop's just going to be desert and then on to Fairy.
And just a shield and the one check we can do in Hookshot Cave. Megawatt, not going to try hovering. I don't know if he does any hovers or not. I don't believe Hitaka does either, so probably not going to see any sequence breaking of Hookshot Cave. Yeah, typically, even if you hover a little bit, you might try it. I'm going to guess Megawatt just doesn't do it at all because he didn't even make the attempt.
Alright, so no Quake means that we're definitely not going to Mire. We don't even have that option on Megawatt's side, but yeah, looks like we are going to try and clear out that Desert Palace crystal. Gonna grab the big key off the torch. I assume he's gonna check the big chest. I think we only pulled out one item earlier on our first visit. But if he doesn't,
I thought we got both items on the right side.
Okay. Yeah. I remember one set of items. I didn't remember the second one.
Yeah, I don't remember what either one was. I think they were both pretty bad. Hitaka remembering immediately that he needs to go the other way, so shout outs to that.
Yeah, a little bit of time saved here on Hitaka's side. Megawatt, so the fire rod.
For the suggestion that there's going to be powder at Pyramid Fairy, we already know where powder is. It's sitting there on the bumper ledge that we can't get until we have a cape. So perhaps a mushroom and a cape.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what our runners want to see today out of Pyramid Fairy.
Oh yeah, I know, right?
And actually, if we pull out the cape from Pyramid Fairy, I don't think Megawatt has actually checked bumper ledge. He doesn't know that powder is on the ledge. Hitaka, on the other hand, does have that knowledge. So we're gonna have to end up seeing what Megawatt ends up doing after this.
Yeah, a better question is going to be when Hitaka gets back over to Desert Palace, assuming that's what he does next. Is he going to do Mire afterwards, since he does have that Quake medallion? It is a green pendant, so
it is, yeah.
It's 3 items.
It looks like Silver Arrows is going to be our choice of weapon here to take down Lambo. Very nicely done and quickly.
Yeah, Silver Arrow is a very, very nice way to take out Lambo. And that's Megawatt's third crystal. Fourth crystal. Third one was Turtle Rock.
Yeah, which Hitaka is going to claim very shortly here in just a few minutes. Both players are making very, very steady progress, though, through the scene. Looks like this is going to be our Pyramid Fairy play from Megawatt. With 870 some rupees, he probably can afford more than one big bomb if he so needs it.
There he grabs it, and we'll get to see what's there in just a second.
Yeah, Hitaka needs to be a little bit careful here in Turtle Rock. He is on 3 hearts. No heart beeps, but
yeah, he
is on green mail.
Yeah, he's on green mail. He's going to get blue mail shortly. He does have at least a red and a green, I believe.
Yeah, the problem is that I think he's on like basically Oko or one hit, so he just has to be careful unless he drinks that potion early. The last thing that we want to happen to either runners basically just get sniped on something and they have to start the dungeon basically over.
Oh, absolutely not. We don't want to see that.
Megawott, I think, trying to get some spin speed in order to check the pyramid item.
Shovel.
Alright, so.
Oh, yuck.
At least it was outside the pyramid.
I think I consider the shovel the worst of the fetch quests. Powder at least is a useful item. Mushroom can be useful if you want a fake powder. Also, the mushroom takes you over to the witch's hut, which is, it's got, you can buy may have it as an excuse to buy potions there when you turn the mushroom in. There's no redeeming quality for the shovel. Plus, you can flute straight over to the witch's hut. You can't flute straight over to the shovel spot.
Yeah, the traveling over to the shovel spot is definitely by far the most inconvenient.
So yeah, shovel is definitely the worst of them. It looks like we're going to get a catfish check over from Megawatt.
Yeah, it does not look like he wants to immediately cash in that shovel that's been sitting there for, probably, the equivalent duration of an hour for the scene.
Yeah, it's probably rusty by now.
Alright, so of course, with that mirror pulled out, he's going to be able to check catfish, and then he at least is going to be able to get the item off of Zora himself. Let's see if he ends up knowing some splash deletion shenanigans, if he can try and get some of the item checks out of logic with these flippers.
Not even grab the bombs, and I don't blame him.
He can't even carry the 10 bombs.
Yeah, that would be a big waste.
Alright, Hitaka picking up some much needed health. Well, at least in terms of comfort level, of course.
Yeah, and that half magic will let him use the cane to do most if not all of Laser Bridge. I think he really wants to save that potion for the Trinex fight as much as possible.
Alright, so we did see our 4th bottle on Zora Ledge. Megawatt most likely is not going to take his time with getting that.
No, especially since he'd have to again, and this would be the tricky splash deletion.
Yeah, I would be quite surprised if either team runners needed.
Oh, just a bug net. Yuck. Well, that was a very bad set of items there.
Well, Megawatt does have an empty bottle, I guess, to his name, so maybe he can put that bug net to use. Alright, running low on options here. Megawatt is getting to his closest shovel spot location, starting point. We'll just check that.
Just 50 rupees.
20. Where is our progression going to be?
It's going to be a tougher fight for Hitaka. Can pull out the hammer.
Oh, jeez. He needs to be a little bit careful on that ricochet. I hope he doesn't get bumped into the spikes on the side.
He's going to switch using the sword on the second head. We'll point out, because it's been brought up a lot because of a lot of the swordless seeds, you can actually kill both heads with the rods. With fire rod on the ice head and ice rod on the fire head. The fire rod's kind of weird because you sometimes get extra little bit of splash damage, so it can potentially take fewer shots. But yeah, you can use in fact, when I was a kid and I played this game, that's how I did it. That's how I thought you had to do it. Just fire a bunch of ice rods, fire a bunch of fire rods, and use a few bottles because half magic doesn't cover that many shots.
I mean, it makes sense. does, right? You've got the ice head, you've got a fire rod, you've got a fire head, you got a fire, you got an ice rod.
Okay, Megawott picks up that Quake. We'll see if he decides to make the Misery Mire dip.
Yeah, we are definitely running low on locations. Of course, in Logic, where things can be.
And that is exactly where he's going. Hitaka gonna go check the one check and hookshot cave that he can.
Yeah, assuming Megawatt ends up full clearing, pulling not only both items out of Mire and the green pendant itself, he can actually go back over to the Eastern Palace area and maybe make another decision about whether he wants to take on Allosaur.
Yeah, that is another location that we do have. I don't know if they got all the items out of pod or not. Maybe someone in chat recalls.
Well, as confirmed by our awesome tracker today, Bandman25, doing all the hard work, clicking the buttons behind the scenes, keeping all of us honest, of course, confirming that there is an item on Lim himself.
Yep, one of the best trackers out there.
Yeah.
Also has done good work on commentary this season, so definitely shout outs to Bandman. Hitaka gonna do Mire first before he does finishes up Desert. Interesting.
Yeah, Megawatt kindly being reminded that you do need a small key to get through one of these locked doors.
Yeah, maybe he was thinking Key Sandy, because the typical Key Sandy route, if you have that small key, you go to the right, you go to the left side first. But oh, and there's a hook shot.
Right.
Well, so this is a good decision from Hitaka. He'll get that hook shot as well.
Hopefully, neither runner feels too behind. Finding that hookshot as the first item here in Pendant Mire. But, being that Quake was kind of, accurate, Verilict was already pretty out of the way. Hopefully, neither runner feels too bad. Now, of course, what does this open up for us? This opens up the rest of Hookshot Cave. We still don't have flippers.
That's all it opens.
Oh, wow.
Right, technically, Ice Palace could be a hook-locked Ice Palace, but we don't have flippers to go there logically. But it does make Ice Palace easier, or not really easier anymore because of the King of Samaria. But if it is hookshot locked, you don't have to think about it.
Yeah, I'm really gonna hope that we find, flippers over here. Megawatt needs to be a bit careful. He does not have, I think, any health safeties left. He's on 2 hearts at the moment.
He should have the same bottles. I don't think he's used any of them yet.
He did use 1 red potion earlier on Internal Rock.
He did, okay. The green potion's not going to do him much good. He needs the red one.
Yeah.
And with Silver Arrows, you might just go ahead and finish this to get that green pendant turn in.
Yeah, really, we are running pretty low on locations. We did get the big key, so Megawatt's really hoping that we're going to find, he does have to go to the vanilla big key chest, sit through that cutscene, hoping to pick up that second item here. Or
he's just going to leave.
Yep, he is quitting out with that progression piece in hand. He is at least hoping for the time being that there is no more progression here left to be found in Mire.
Looks like he's going to go straight over to Hookshot Cave, where that hookshot takes him.
Back up the mountain we go. So this is what, our 4th trip up here?
Oh, I've lost. And we did it late the first time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we put
this is number 3, because the first one we did Hera and East Death Mountain. The second one was Turtle Rock, and then now we're doing Hookshot Cave. The good news is the book has already been found, so this is it. There's nothing else to get up here.
Yeah, I'm also very impressed that Megawatt was able to make it through all of Death Mountain without taking a single heart of damage. Those death rocks really, and boulders for that matter, definitely gave him some love.
So it looks like Hitaka's just going to go straight to Vidi and hope the last item is there and get the green pendant. He also skipped the cutscene chest.
Yeah,
with Silver Arrows, this will be a very quick fight.
Yeah. And he has enough health in order to get down there safely. I assume he has Spooky activated. We're gonna see, but if he has that, that's also gonna save some 10 to 15 seconds here.
Okay, Hookshot Cave has a piece of heart. rupees. And
All right,
flippers.
and
There's the
flippers.
progression.
Wow, however many trips we had to come up here just to get those flippers.
And you know, that's actually go mode, isn't it? Completely lost track, but yeah, that's
soon?
it.
Wow.
109.
Yeah.
That's actually so soon. 109 is pretty late, actually.
Wow.
So
well, you know, the scene has been, you know, like tugging us along for so long that I just
really
I lost track of how many crystals we can actually complete. But yeah, actually looking at our remaining crystal sets, you know, we have Swamp Palace, which we definitely need the flippers for. Nothing else. We have ice ready to get in, and yeah, that's it. So Megawatt is gonna make this super fast.
Yeah, that's really bad for Hitaka. I mean, he's got the Skull Woods up on Megawatt, but Megawatt has the Desert Palace, has the better sword situation, and already has those flippers in hand. Hitaka's going to have to go up to Hookshot Cave to get those flippers.
Yeah, and most likely, given that he has actually just very quickly destroyed Vitreous with the silver arrows, you know, he's going to pick up that green pendant and probably going to turn that in before he goes up the mountain.
Yeah, and he might get sucked right back in here to get that last item on the cutscene.
Alright, Megawott looks like he's going to give us a demonstration of a very common tech for Icebreaker. I assume he didn't even bother with that first chest, so he did have to flip the switch.
Okay, Hitaka not going back in.
But yeah, so this will definitely be good for Hitaka's side. Megawott slashing his way through, hopefully we're going to break through that barrier any moment now.
Hitaka, what are you doing? Oh, he's got to get the big key.
He's
my
just like, oh yeah, like I just need a fire source, and then, I just need boots, and then we're gone, and then yeah.
Yeah, it's the classic. I know where the item is, so I already have it. The good news is, no, that's not where the big key is. Well, at least he's gonna find out here. Hitaka, you got the items. It's the big key you're missing. Oh my god.
Probably just a bunch of stuff on his mind right now. But at least he's got the mirror pulled out, so once he bumpers this big key off the torch, he's going to immediately mirror out and be able to defeat Lambo with presumably his silver arrows.
He's got silvers, he's got a fire rod, he's got good choices.
As we were watching Hitaka, make his way to the back of desert, we already see Megawatt here, ready to face off Cold Stare. 8 fire rod shots, and he's got butter sword.
Yeah, fire rod, bombos, red, blue mail.
Gold sword.
Yeah, he's got everything he needs.
He's like
Cold Stare doesn't. Yeah. Cold Stare. There are certain enemies that are just the difference between what items you have just changes the fight so much. And Cold Stare becomes a very easy fight with the item set item set that Megawatt has. Hitaka shouldn't have a problem either with that particular fight because he does have a fire rod and a bombos and plenty of magic to use. Does not have that gold sword and is probably not going to get it unless maybe he does Pyramid Fairy before Hookshot Cave and gets a tempered sword, but I don't see him ever going back to Hammer Pegs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sincerely, at this point, we don't even have that cape either, so we can't even combine that with Magic Backcheck. So yeah, Hammer Pegs at this point is pretty isolated. Good news, of course, for Megawatt. After finding those flippers as his go mode, he was able to go mode probably 2 of the nicest dungeons, which is Ice Palace and Swamp Palace. Normally these dungeons are, somewhat tedious. You can go back and forth.
Well, it's not so much anymore. Ice Palace used to be the best go mode dungeon because of the Ice Palace bomb jump. The difference in go mode now and go mode then is not even that significant.
Right. Yeah.
The Icebreaker just completely changed Ice Palace. So, give me go mode versus not go mode is not nearly what it used to be. Ice-T really being the only out-of-the-way check. Swamp Palace, on the other hand? Swamp Palace, go mode versus go mode versus not go mode Swamp is a humongous difference. So you always want to be able to go mode... you always want to be able to go mode Swamp Palace if you can, and Megawatt will be able to do that. And actually, we'll solo Hitaka because he can't. His go mode item is flippers, and he knows that he won't have to worry about that.
Unfortunately, not quite. even with that super speed, but definitely makes it through. We're gonna see what Green Pendant has.
Yeah, there's nothing this could have been that was gonna help him. Like the most useful item left would be red mail. I mean, and like that's a big who cares.
Yeah, something tells me Hitaka's probably a good enough player that he doesn't need red mail to finish this game safely.
Because all the other good items, we either know where they are, or I guess Cape could have gotten in the powder, but that actually is a worse thing because that just opens up, all those extra checks. So.
Yeah, especially, he has to spend all that extra time, he gets a cape, and he has to go all the way to Bumper Life, which is kind of already out of the way, and picks up the powder, and then maybe he goes and checks back to that.
Yeah, exactly. So, Chad asking if Hitaka forgot Hookshot Cave. No, he's not forgotten Hookshot Cave. You don't want to go back up to Hookshot Cave right after you came down from there. The pyramid makes a lot more sense. It just came into logic. He's gonna do that first. At least he'll get a tempered sword. Unfortunately, he'll also get a shovel.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he's gonna get a sword out of pyramid fitter, which is great, but he's gonna see that shovel and he's just gonna roll his eyes.
Yeah, and there's a really good chance he follows that shovel before heading up to Hookshot Cave, because even though Hookshot Cave is 3 items and shovel is 1, shovel is a lot quicker than going back up the mountain again.
Yeah, again. Meanwhile, Megawatt did give us a nice demonstration of diving down, zooming past, of course, all the checks. We don't need anything else on his side. We've got Butter's sword, we've got Silver's, we've got Mirror Shield for some reason, and we've got Blue Mail. He's not looking for anything else.
Now that we've realized that the shields lag all the same, I think Mirror Shield is actually a little bit underrated for some of the things it can do. See, he did that same double take that Megawatt did, has to pick up the shovel. But yeah, the Mirror Shield, we all know what it does on Laser Bridge. It's definitely very nice there. But the mimics, in particular the ones when you're dealing with GT and the Zazax, the Mirror Shield is what blocks those. So, there's those are nice things. And now that it's not any more laggy than the other shields, it's like, oh, okay, fine, no one should ever go out of their way to pick up a shield, but I don't think you feel quite as bad picking it up anymore.
Yeah, and especially for these 3 shields, they were just straight in our path. We couldn't even avoid them. Right, the first one was in I think the compass chest of Pod. Second one was in the first chest of Hookshot Cave, and the third one was at Pyramid Fairy. I guess maybe if we were in Skull Woods, we could try to pick it to
if you do
shields.
If you do Hookshot Cave before Pyramid Fairy, you could avoid the last one.
Yeah.
And the picket can't steal the Mirror Shield. So, fun fact: if you get your first or second shield stolen, the third shield you pick up will be a Mirror Shield. So, it's kind of weird because apparently, if you have the fighter shield stolen, it will get replaced by a fighter shield, but then you'll get Mirror Shield when you pick up the third one. It's very weird. And Megawatt just now needs to go do Skull Woods, and then he'll be headed off to Ganon's Tower. Hitaka needs to do Ice Palace and Swamp Palace. Not maybe as far behind as it may seem, because he's already done Skull Woods, and those are quick dungeons, but is definitely at least a full dungeon, probably a little bit more than a full dungeon behind. Yeah, this is one of those, it's hard to say exactly. I want to say the biggest difference is Hitaka being a little more thorough early and then skipping some, I guess the only thing he really skipped was the hammer pegs. He was probably just a little bit more thorough, and some of that thoroughness did not pay off. And sometimes, you just have to flip a coin and hope that, the item that you're looking for is where you decide to end up going, right? So in this case, Hitaka decided to make a very reasonable decision to finish up Mire and get that Green Pendant. And if flippers were there, right, the tables would definitely have been turned. Absolutely, yeah. So, it's not even just finishing Mire. Megawatt never did Ice Rod Cave. I feel like Megawatt's routing of something like... Graver Ledge may have been a little bit better. Just a little bit cleaner routing overall. And having that tempered sword for Turtle Rock definitely helped as well.
Mm-hmm. And just like you said, for Megawatt's routing, right? He was actually able to combine hammer pegs and the purple chest.
Yeah, that case, too.
Right? So. Oh, speaking of which,
numbers. There's numbers in chat. Why are there numbers in chat?
Oh man, are they trying to guess something?
I don't know.
I see numbers between 1 and 22 for some reason, and maybe some other ones.
Yeah, you know, some people like to put weird numbers in that just don't work. But yeah, 1 through 22. Get your guesses for that big key. There are 22 locations it could be, and it will be one of those. And if you want to put a different number, and you go right ahead, you just won't win those swag internet points.
Yeah, so we're going to close out our guesses as soon as Megawott ends up entering Ganon's tower himself. As soon as he gets past these boulders and dead rocks that didn't give him apparently any trouble the first time around, or the second time, maybe the third time, who knows.
I like the choice of the variable from Azure there.
What did Azure say?
He said X. And pi would be 3.1416 if you round it. Thank you very much. But
15926.
159. Yes.
All right, Megawott. Hitaka making his way efficiently through Ice Palace. He ended up getting Icebreaker as well. Just needs to make his way through Bolster, not even bothering to check that chest on the way. We know it's just a compass from Megawatt's side, and we of course know that the fourth sword is hammer pegs. So
there's nothing more that either of these guys could want, and Hitaka's got to feel behind at this point after full clearing Meyer for nothing.
But again, his decision to clear Meyer at this point was very, very reasonable. Just ended up not working out for this particular scene.
Okay, one thing I'm going to point out, now everybody talks about how the Phendrana Drifters were undefeated up until this point. Megawatt, obviously undefeated because the only loss that the team has now is Frostbite from last Friday against Aussie. This will, if things keep going the way they're going, this will actually be Hitaka's first individual loss. The only losses he's had were in co-op seeds, so pretty good showing from Megawatt here. Something that a lot of people probably didn't notice.
Yeah, I definitely was not aware of either of these runners' individual records. Meanwhile, we have Megawatt already in GT. It looks like he's doing Hoping first. Got that small key on the right side, so he's going to at least go through Compass Room.
So these will be checks at 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Unfortunately, missing the first switch hit, but that came as a Mario block. Guessing on the second try, nice block.
It does a swaggy block kick. I don't know how you do that, but I love the way it looks like the sprite is kicking it. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's like a soccer ball, except it's
square.
Yeah. All right, nothing in Compass chest, so he is going to grab that small key, mirror out, and we are going on the left side.
Number 7 is 300 rupees. We don't need money anymore, so not picking that up.
Yeah, this seed definitely was not short on cash for either of our two runners. Speaking of which, here, you don't want 300 the first time, I will give you it to this in the second time.
10 and 11 is a green rupee, and we're just going to use a little bit of ether magic to clear out the Stalfos.
Yeah, it's certainly very reasonable. Megawatt's got sword beams. To get those Stalfos down, it is really not convenient. Speaking of
red mail,
yellow mail, I guess.
Yeah, apparently it's yellow here, but that's number 12.
Unfortunately, didn't quite get the.
Yeah, you just.
Oh. Oh no.
There we go.
All right. Megawatt's gonna start over from his muscle memory.
There we go. That works better.
All right, nice blocking over to avoid the fire snake.
13 is a small key.
Another small key. So we are running short on locations before tile room. Hopefully we've got 4 more here in rando room. If not, we are going to be facing Ice Armos.
There it is.
All right.
14, 15, 16, 17. There we go. 17 is our big 17. Key number. Shoutouts to AWD42, winner against our big key guessing game for guessing 17.
With the big key, Megawatt is ready to scale the gauntlet. Of course, we've got silver arrows, so we don't need 2 arrows for these mimics. We just need the 1. So long as he has enough left to fight Ganon. Oh yeah, hey Tracy, look at that.
That mirror shield's doing its job.
That's right. Megawatt's like, you know what? I picked up this shield for a good reason. I'm gonna use it. Not even bothering
nice cane
with
dash.
That's right. With figuring out what the RNG is for these cannonballs. We've got a cane, we've got dashing. We're just gonna Alright, of course, we've got still quite a lot of magic to our name with that fire rod, gold sword. We're just gonna basically demolish all of our enemies here in the gauntlet.
Yeah, nice to have that half magic. He'll switch over to silver arrows for the Landmo fight, for the Landmo 2 fight.
Yeah, the hope is that we're going to save enough magic, in order to get the torches, so we don't have to. We only need to get 1 magic refills as opposed to 2. Unfortunately, the first one just slightly off-timed, so it's going to be a 1-cycle Landmo, but no minor time loss here.
Cleans it up pretty well. I know for me, I either get it right away or it's several rounds. And Megawatt, much better player when he misses it the first time, is able to clean it up very nicely.
Yeah, nicely done. Very satisfying room there with the King of Samara with the Boost ropes, and of course, this is part 2. Megawatt, of course, dashing through those red guards, doing what you hope that happens to them, which is them falling off the bridge versus you. Alright, Megawatt not even going to bother with that first magic refill because we have enough magic to light the 4 torches with the fire rod, so he's only going to just need that 1 magic refill pot from the pre-Moldrum 2.
And there's literally nothing he could possibly want, and so he's definitely not going to check those chests.
Yeah, doesn't even need the little key off the mini Helmasaur. He's got more than the keys based on basically him foreclaiming the
Just wants that, yeah. He just does want the magic refill.
Megawott, so anxious to get to the other side. I was actually wondering if we're gonna get a small hover attempt.
It almost looked like he wanted to hover, but I'm again assuming that if he could have hovered, he would have tried, at least made a small attempt at Hookshot Cave. And this seed is essentially a hover seed. I mean, typically.
No. What are you doing?
Okay, I have not seen that before. What was that?
So he cane dashed up through the stairs. I guess that causes something, some sort of a staircase. I've never seen that before.
I've not seen that before. So yeah. Anyway. I was saying something, and I don't even remember what it was.
I don't remember either.
Because then he did something weird in the stairs, and it just flew out of my head.
Yeah, it looks like at least when he got back down the stairs, he was able to cancel out of his cane dash animation or something, and then he was able to go up the stairs normally. But yeah, did not know that was going to happen. Alright, so I think that was a 3-cycle, like a 2-2-2 or something on Megawatt's side.
Very, very quick, whatever it was.
Yeah.
3 cycles is always really good. I mean, because you can't even guarantee the possibility of a 2-cycle because, blue balls are a thing.
Yeah, not as much certainly for Aga 1, but yes, blue balls are absolutely a thing, and they can ruin your perfect cycles. But of course, with that, Megawatt's dropping down the cannon. He has his gold sword. He doesn't, of course, need to worry. He's going to slash to his heart's content. He can do anything fancy.
Yeah, just 6 slashes. I mean, gold sword against Ganon is just not even a fair fight.
And he's even got yellow mail to his name. He doesn't have to worry too much about getting hurt. He can take lots of safeties. He does not have any health safeties, but he's got lots of magic, and he's got
he got through the tough part. The rest of it, if he at this point, you just light some torches, throw some silver arrows, you're good to go.
Yeah. With 17 arrows, he probably has enough to kill Ganon. Of course, we're hoping for fewer warps rather than more warps. And then seems to not want to stand still. But of course, when Hitaka gets here, he's going to have the same number of warps, so it's not like Megawatt's going to be at any disadvantage. It's going to take a little bit longer.
Looks like he was trying for the torch, which doesn't get it, but that's a big who cares when you have silver arrows.
Yeah, he was also pretty far away using that fire rod. Oh no. It looks like he's just going to take it slow and steady today. He just needs to make sure he doesn't fall off or get hit.
There it is.
That last silver arrow, Megawatt has defeated Ganon. He is just ready for that fanfare. Crosses this bridge, and he's going to be the first Part 2 runners and claims victory in this, technically Game 1 or Game 3, however you want to count it. Get your GGs in chat for Megawatt, finishing with an official time of 1 hour, 30 minutes, and 27 seconds.
And Taka looks like he's going to go ahead and finish this out. In fact, we're going to go ahead and mark him done so we can get both runners in for the interview right away.
Yeah. What a run by these guys.
And we do have, looks like Megawatt joining us. I'm sure Hitaka will join us shortly.
Yeah, GG's Megawatt.
Yeah, GG's.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if you know this, because all the attention has been on your team with your undefeated streak up until last Friday. But Hitaka had an undefeated streak of his own, having not lost an individual match until today. And as we bring in Hitaka, and GG's to you too.
GG's Hitaka.
GG.
So Megawatt, you're the first to give Hitaka a loss in a 1v1.
Oh well, can I say that I'm honored then to end the fellow undefeated man's streak. It's sad to see it go, but I feel like it had to end for one of us today, right?
I was saying, you can't feel too sad.
It was going to go one way or the other.
Yeah, it was. It just, one way or another, one of you was going to lose, and that's the way these are. But yeah, I mean, I guess the troll, the siege is it was kind of what I like to call breadcrumby, where it just gave you like one little breadcrumb to follow. Now, there was little individual deviances between, but most of the time you kind of end up back in the same places. And Hitaka, I think you just checked a few extra locations, and of course didn't help that you full cleared Meyer, which Megawatt decided not to.
Yeah, at that point, all of my remaining locations were pretty much like really spaced out in the same amount of stuff. And there was possibly 2 items on Biddy, so I thought it was worth a shot to do that.
Mm-hmm. And you had silver arrow, so it wasn't a super hard fight either. Yeah, so it made sense for you to do.
It was just a walk down to Biddy, and then he died in like 10 seconds. So.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think it was around the same time that you were killing Biddy that Megawatt got his flippers for go mode on the added hookshot cave. So.
Yeah,
that hookshot.
Mentioned in
Go ahead.
The race room. This was a cool hover seed.
Yeah, we talked about that. It was a hover seed, which usually hover seeds are hey, Swamp Palace is a pendant and hookshot's in a really bad spot. No, but you can also have hover seeds where if you can hover hookshot cave, a huge advantage. And I assume neither one of you does much hovering, since neither of you really even attempted it.
I'm very inconsistent at it. Just waste time if I try.
I don't do it.
Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, so at least we were even.
That was the location of the hookshot was so awkward in the seed, though. Like at least when I got to it, it felt so awkward because I barely had anything left. I had Ice Rod Cave, which I basically had surrendered as an I lose if there's something here kind of location.
Sure.
Then back at Thieves Town, Hookshot Cave, and then the rest of the stuff in Mire. It's like, okay, this is the most awkward item I could have found, and in the most awkward way possible at the very start of my Mire clear.
Yep.
Do I just leave and go for the density in Hookshot Cave? Do I keep going for the items in Mire? I pretty sure I wasn't never going to go back for these 10 items, just like Ice Shroud Cave. But so I ended up clearing out basically the entire front of Mire for no additional items before finally leaving for Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, we're assuming something was sitting there in cutscene chest, but
Yeah, it must have been.
because that's the only one.
Did you get crabbed or just elect to skip Ice Shroud Cave?
I elected to skip it. So I got Book and Kakariko, and usually whenever I do that, I'll like adjust my South Shore route and go, instead of like Dam to Minimoldorm to Ice Shroud Cave, I'll go Minimoldorm to Dam to Aginas and into Desert Palace, and that's what I did this seed.
Yeah, desert with nothing, and my favorite, and not favorite. By favorite, I mean not favorite. Turtle Rock having nothing.
Yeah, I was.
That was pretty wild. I mean,
you got blue mail. You got blue mail in Mimic Cave, and that was it. And when I don't know about you all, but I know when I play and Turtle Rock is open early, it always seems to. It doesn't even matter whether it's pendant or crystal. It always seems to have something, and this one just had nothing.
I figured when it was empty, that just meant, oh well, something's got to be behind Pyramid Fairy then. Like,
yep.
That's just if
you got a sword,
empty, then
and you got a mirror shield.
Yeah, and you put it to good use in Mimics too, and GT.
Yep.
Yeah.
For the clink and everything.
Yep. Very useful. It almost makes up for all the lag frames it introduced.
And well, Hitaka, at least for you, Hitaka, it got you your tempered sword.
It was the fourth sword.
Hammer pegs.
Yeah, that was just too isolated. I was never going back for that.
Yeah, we kind of guessed that because the difference was Megawatt didn't do purple chest earlier, so it was 2 items for him.
Mm-hmm.
So he did hammer pegs into purple chest and got 2 swords in a row. Right before, and that was right before Turtle Rock, so Turtle Rock was a little bit easier as well.
The way it worked out with finding flute and then mirror, I figured I could combine activating the flute with grabbing purple chest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was thinking something similar, except I didn't get my flute until after I looped back around. But I got my mirror and was thinking, like, should I go up back and just like mirror and grab purple chest now? But I figured if I did that, I'd be orphaning hammer pegs. And if by chance I managed to get hammer and it just wasn't locked behind purple chest, then it could be a potentially major advantage if hammer pegs had something, while also playing a sort of defensive play of picking up purple chest in case that had something as well. So and it was a nice little sword. Wasn't a whole lot, but it was definitely something.
Yeah, and of course, other little things that the seed threw at you, like, it'd be nice to go to the mountain with the hammer to be able to do East Death Mountain, or with a hook shot. The hammer's sitting there on the mountain, So yeah, the seed definitely threw some nasty little bits like that at you all.
Yeah, climbing the West Mountain just for Hera is pretty bad, but then we got a nice surprise.
Yeah, imagine climbing just from Hookshot Cave.
Yeah,
imagine that.
I believe I even said at the time when Megawatt was going up there, I'm like, well, this will be it. There's nothing more here. No more mountain checks.
Yeah, so apparently both had 4 mountain climbs, which is pretty.
Yeah, that sounds right.
You can get.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, I guess it could have been worse, like if book was super late or something, and something on Ether Tablet, you could actually have, I think, a fifth climb. But
Gross.
thankfully, yeah, that did not happen. And GG's to Hitaka, finishing up with an official race time of 1:37.56. So well done there.
Yeah, GG's for finishing out this race.
Thanks. Yeah, it was just GT climb to go, so why not?
Yeah. I don't blame you. And I like to get the runners in early so we can have the dual interview. I think it's more fun that way. So
yeah, thanks for that.
Definitely, yeah.
But yeah, all 3 pendant dungeons had logically required items this seed, so that was fun.
yeah.
Yeah, like
What was in the front of Thieves Town again? Was that the mitts?
That was the lamp.
Oh, it was
lamp.
a lamp.
Yeah, so they expected you to double dip
Not
these
really
time.
required, but
But logically required. And it did make getting the fire rod a little bit easier since the fire rod was in pod, so policy darkness with that, with the almost empty pod, it's like, oh hey, look, Would either of you done Helmasaur if the rest of the, I mean, I'm not sure there was anything left at the time. If the rest of it had been empty.
Pod had the compass, I think, or Helma had the compass.
No, I know that, but I'm saying if the fire rod had, let's just say the compass had shown up there instead of the fire rod.
So if the fire rod was on Helma?
Okay.
Yeah, I would have gone for Helma if the fire rod, like if you're saying specifically the fire rod and the compass switch places.
I mean, obviously.
Instead of just a random item being on Helma?
I'm saying if the compass was where it was and there was an unknown item on Helmasaur. I'm sorry,
the fire rod?
Yeah, if you had gotten the compass instead of the fire rod and then an unknown item is on Helmasaur.
Okay, if I didn't get the fire rod, I probably do kill Helmasaur. If I did get the fire rod and it's just some random item that may or may not be anything, then at least the fire rod I have can lead me through Turtle Rock. It sets me up for Pyramid Fairy, which makes a nice route for Pyramid Ledge and Catfish as well.
Yeah,
so I would definitely bail.
Yeah, that sounds fair. Yeah, I mean, Helmasaur is not a quick thing to do anyway.
Oh yeah. One of the slowest checks in the game.
Yep.
By itself.
Yeah, even if you're like already in the dungeon, it's just...
Yup.
Oh, actually, yeah, Megawatt, I was actually curious. So actually, when you went to Eastern the first time, you chose to go to Eastern Palace first before going to Sahashua. Any particular reason for that?
I'm not sure if it's actually faster. It feels faster. Like, because you don't have to climb your way out of Sahasrah's side area. And maybe it's just an entrance tick. I play a lot of cross keys, and that's just generally how I like to route it when I have a glove to actually lift that rock over there. So maybe that's kind of bled into my open mode play a bit.
And then you both skipped the big key chest. which ended up being, what was it? It was either map or compass. I forget which.
Yeah, it was a dungeon item.
Which one you didn't, but you didn't know that at the time. So, if both of you could talk about why, what was your thought process there? Was it didn't you want to do the dark rooms, or just wanted to 50-50 and hope to get the item on Armos Nights?
Yeah, it was just 50-50 and I hoped it paid off.
Yeah, for me, it was like, I just found the Pearl, I have Dark World access. I'm not particularly interested in being super thorough right now. If a 50-50 situation happens, I'm gonna gamble on the item being on the boss. Yeah, and that's exactly what I did.
Yeah, Pearl just showed up there too, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
When I
Go ahead.
had Mitts in Kakariko, I was actually kind of hoping Pearl would be there too, so I could just hop right into... that's always fun when that happens.
Yeah, you get the 5-minute Dark World access. That's always interesting. Even better if you get the 5-world Dark World access with a mirror. Then you can really do some fun, efficient routing. But yeah, so game 4 looks like it's going to be Aussie versus Jet. That is already on the schedule. We just double check that. I want to say Thursday. Yeah, Thursday at 6:10. Either you thinking about a game 5 if it comes to happen, or do you think it'll be your teammates, Asger and or Frostbite?
I think we're still kind of discussing that a bit. I think we may have an idea, but I don't know if we're ready to say that yet.
Sure.
Any thoughts? Yeah. Any thoughts for Game 4's mode that we know of yet, or is it going to be a surprise?
So Game 4's mode is known. So for Aussie versus Jet, we have, I believe, Aussie picking enemy shuffle without bosses, Jet picking Key Sanity, Aussie picking standard. And then the remainder of the settings, we've got Assured Swords, Ganon Goal, and Hard Item Pool.
Oh, wow. Okay. That is going to be quite
So we're going to get some standard Randomizer.
So the standard... and Aussie did the standard Randomizer without the Assured Sword in the last round, so he's going to be ready for that one, I think. I know Jet likes his Key Sanity, so no surprise there. I think Aussie liked doing the enemy shuffle without the boss shuffle. So none of those picks between those two runners surprised me whatsoever. Saw about, I think it was pretty nice there because we didn't get inverted. We didn't get, I guess Fast Ganon is not too bad. And then of course the hard mode, I kind of laugh at hard mode because typically 14 heart maximum is what y'all get anyway. And Gold Sword is like, oh yeah, Gold Sword. Silverless is never a problem for runners of your caliber. And of course, So the only big deal I think is the green mail instead of the mail upgrades, and even that's not that bad. Oh, good point. Yeah, standard was picked, so it can't get inverted. But yeah.
Yeah, I was thought 14 hearts seemed a little silly for quote-unquote hard, but...
Yeah, I don't think it would be that... I think it'd be fine at 14 hearts if it was literally there were because it's 16 heart pieces and whatever number of heart containers available. But they turn into big... They're all there, but they just turn into 20s. Like if they were all just... if it was just the 16 heart pieces and I think it's 7 heart containers. I think that would make a big difference as opposed to, hey, I've got 14 hearts now. Now I'm just going to get money.
Yeah, because then you'd be more likely to wind up with like 10 or 11 hearts.
Yeah, exactly.
Find them all.
But yeah, so definitely going to be some interesting stuff. And and of course Sahaba, as we all know, had to give the assured sword because you can only get enemy shuffle without a sword if the runners pick it. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it should be an interesting matchup. Two very, very, very good runners. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, two very good runners and quite the modes to fight against. So it should be very entertaining.
Yep. But yeah, that's not much else to say. Do you guys, either one of you, Hitaka, Megawatt, want to add anything before we close things out?
Yeah. So big thanks to our commentators, Clear Mouse and Tracy, our tracker Bandman, and the Restream crew as well for getting this all put together. And I appreciate you guys volunteering your time. Yeah. And GG's to Hitaka. Good luck in Game 4.
Hitaka?
Yeah, pretty much the same. Thanks to all the crew and comms and everything. And good luck to you guys in the next game and hopefully in Game 5.
All right.
Collection rate was 1 off.
Nice.
Probably just
the sword. It's the sword. No, wait, Hitaka had the extra item. How does that work?
Where was the bug net?
Oh, it was Azora.
Oh, it was Azora.
Yeah, I never got around to Azora.
There you go.
I was hoping, actually, in the back of my head, like when I was running out of checks, I was thinking, I really hope that flippers are not vanilla. Because, boy, that would be a joke.
Yeah, that would. Yeah, from as late as like I think Megawott got there pretty late too. So yeah, that would have been pretty interesting. Yeah. All right. So yeah, that'll do it for us. I'd also like to thank Clear Mouse for joining me on commentary, and of course Bandman for doing the tracking, and everybody behind the scenes, both at SpeedGaming and in the league, and of course all of you in chat. Next race will be. Let me make sure I get this right. Next race will be Tuesday at 4:10. That'll be, I believe this is a rematch between Sailor Neff and Scholzer. Their Game 4 between the 2019 Titan Spins of 2019 and Triple Dino Disaster. Doesn't say what the mode is, but I know Sailor Neff's done a lot of these swordless modes, so I expect something very interesting to be played between those two runners. And that was, I believe, about a 16 second difference between the two of them. Finishing that up, so I expect another really good race. And of course, the aforementioned race between Aussie and Jet on Thursday at 6:10 p.m. Let's see, I believe there's some stuff scheduled for Open, so I'll go ahead and shout that out real quick. We have on Monday at 6:10, so tomorrow, we have Boomer Friendly versus Fromps Time, Don Venier versus Tepidino. That's a Game 5. And then on Tuesday at 2:10, we have Ups de War es out nicht versus OK Game. That, for those of you that don't know or haven't heard one of us say it, that means, oops, it's not there either. That's Ramon versus Krellbell. That's a Game 3. And I want to say that's, actually, I don't know what the game series is on that one. Because I believe they played yesterday. I never found out the result. So not sure if that's 2-0 or 1-1. I do know that is an actual Game 3. So definitely want to tune in for those races. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You got anything else for us, Clear Mouse?
Yeah, just echoing what everyone else has said so far tonight. Thanks, Tracy, for her commentary. Thanks, Bandman, for the tracking and the Restream crew. Thank you in particular to Megawatt and Hitaka for putting on such an awesome race for us to be able to have the pleasure of commentating for. And yeah, definitely, keep your eye on the schedule for future random races. We're going to have channel signs them relatively soon, hopefully. But yeah, until then, have a great night, everyone.
Good night.